Weekly Informant.
Episode 24.
I'm Sandra, this is Stefan.
Sorry for the echo and any squeaking.
On my chair.
Yeah.
So I'm getting new floors and there's no carpet right now, so that's why.
And let's get started. First up, I should pull the correct page up. Billboard Music Awards, a while ago, had a hologram Michael Jackson performing one of the songs off of a brand new album that some of the family members released, and it was a pretty creepy performance because I mean it looked like him, it looked like he was there, but it's like it seems like it was too soon because like you're either into it or it was too soon for a lot of people. I mean, he only died a couple years ago.
I don't think it was too soon. I think
it was creepy. Did you see it?
Yeah.
It
was pretty neat because he like came out of the wall. It looked like a painting, and he came out, and you could tell like his movements and everything. Even his face was pretty good, but then his face, like there's always something about.
It would have been cool the music video, but I mean, like at the live performance, the smoke and mirrors, and they had the live dancers up there. That's what made it feel really creepy. Like, if it was a music video, that'd be kind of cool.
If you have a passion for him, I think if you're a huge fan of his, you either get really excited about it or really creeped out because you know he's not here. So I was more like, wow, they actually took a whole year spending to make this thing.
I know the family members were split over that. Like, half the family did not want that. They didn't want the video done. They didn't want that
a lot
done.
of things is because they're coming out with music. Just how Michael Jackson was, he's very, very picky and particular on his music. And he's very perfectionist on his sound and music. And so for him not to release stuff, most likely it didn't meet up to his satisfaction. So obviously he got famous for a reason, by being this way. And now they're releasing a lot of his stuff. And so I could see being upset over that as a family saying, hey, he has a name that he's still protecting. Mm-hmm. And people are only wanting to sell it because they want to make money off of it.
Oh, I looked ahead, so when you put down, like, oh, man. I'm going to go and jump down to this, get the depressing stuff out of the way. Andy Davis dies. Alice from Brady Bunch at 88.
Yeah.
That's not funny. I'm just saying.
So, usually you hear about people dying and then it's like overdose or something like that.
Yeah.
But she's actually, people are saying she's doing really, really well. And then she just fell in the bathroom and hit her head and she died.
That's like the other one that just died. I forgot her name. Oh my gosh. How did I forget her name?
From what?
The author and poet.
That. The black lady right?
Yeah.
That you guys were talking, I don't really know her name.
Why did I forget her name?
I don't know. I have no idea what her name is.
Okay, we're going to keep going. I'll remember before we're done.
The poet.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting how there is always like a pattern of several people dying at once.
There'll be one more celebrity.
So she was really close to her church and everything, so they're saying they're planning a funeral. So I think she just died, if not today.
Maya Angelou.
Maya Angelou?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, how did she pass?
I don't know. I just remember reading the story of like her personal assistant called 911 and they're asking if they should resuscitate her because she actually said if something like that happens to her, she does not want to be resuscitated. She just wants to go. And they said, well, she didn't have that written down anymore in a will or anything, so she needed to do CPR on her, but she was already gone at that point.
But how did she pass it? Like, did she have a brain aneurysm?
No, it wasn't a brain aneurysm. It might have been a stroke or a heart attack.
Okay.
It might have been a heart attack.
So this was with Ann Davis. She was Alice from Brady Bunch. So I think she just died just by an accident, which sucks.
What kind of accident?
I told you, she fell in the bathroom. She hit her head. So it's like, oh. And like they were saying, like she even went down the stairs that night to say goodnight and everything. And like they said it was like a total shock because she was doing really well. You know, when you get older, you just get like weaker and you gotta be really careful. Somebody else, a coworker of mine actually, one of the dads, he was also doing fine, but he fell and he got like something bleeding, brain bleed or something like that, which sucks. Falling is dangerous.
Well, let me find one more depressing and get that out of the way. Well, it's not depressing. This one's good news. So let's go ahead and jump to the group of pastors. Pray for the rain.
This is earlier this week. They're praying for the rain.
In Central Texas.
In Central Texas because it's been a drought pretty much. We're still not up to, gosh, we had rain for like, what, 4 straight days?
It was only like 2 or 3.
Which is a lot more than you've gotten in a while, but didn't fill the lakes, but it did give it a couple inches, so it helped.
Kind of seemed like they did that until it started raining, and then they stopped and walked away. Like, no, we gotta keep going. They saw it's gonna rain all week, so we're good. Yeah. And then it only ended up raining for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, so they're fasting and praying for the rain, but yeah, it made my lawn greener. That's for sure.
They need to eat up and go do it again. The CEO of Levi's jeans, came out with some disgusting tips. He said, "Do not wash your jeans."
He hasn't washed his in years. He said, and if it starts to develop a funk, put it in the freezer.
And funkify your food in that freezer.
Now, some hygienists have been saying, you probably want to wash them a few times in between.
At least wash it once a week, and then if it's damaged, buy a new one.
I think he was saying wash it once a year, but she was like, you might want to wash more often than that.
Well, see what happens is they got cheaper with the threading or something because jeans used to last for years. Now they last you for a couple months.
Well, see, even Levi's back in the day, that's why they're still selling Levi's, old school Levi's with the red threading and stuff for like thousands of dollars. And old used Levi's, yeah. It's crazy.
I know there back in the 90s there used to be like little here in Austin there used to be a little trailer set up and then they'd buy your old jeans and they resell them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like they do that anymore.
Probably because, like you said, nowadays jeans don't last as long. There are some of them, but I have noticed they wear out a lot easier. And I don't know how guys do it, but they wear out jeans a lot faster than girls do.
It's maybe has something to do with the looseness because women normally wear tighter jeans.
Yeah.
The guys wear looser jeans, and maybe the loose jeans getting caught on stuff or something.
Because I have these stretchy jeans. I usually buy stretchy just because it's tight, but it's comfortable. Like, it doesn't restrict me.
That's always been my question. Like, why do women wear tight jeans, but men always wear baggy?
Do you want it on your, I guess, crotch-wise? Some men, because nowadays they have the slim fit, and you don't like them. Every time you see those, you like, even the shirts, the slim fit shirts, you don't want to wear those.
I don't understand why it is women are more comfortable with the tight fitting stuff and men are not.
I feel a lot more comfortable. I've bought some, it was years back though, but I bought some Tommy jeans before.
Where are Tommy jeans?
Tommy Hilfiger.
Oh. And
they're like baggy, but the crotch was really low, and ugh.
I hate baggy jeans on women.
Ugh, they were like terrible. They're terrible, like the worst feeling jeans of my life. So that's why I don't like baggy jeans.
I don't like baggy jeans like on hot days, like in Texas when your legs are sweating.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't like jeans period on hot days when your legs are sweating.
Well, see, that's why if I were tight, you don't feel the sweat and it rubbing on anything because it's tight. So I'm fine with that. But I think if you had stuff in between your legs, it might get hot down there. I mean, it still gets kind of hot, but I'm fine. I'm not, I'm not a guy, so I don't know.
I don't know. It's normally like cowboys and stuff that wear the tight jeans.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they don't wear underwear underneath. That's why. That's probably why, because of the heat. Like
you
you're
don't
saying,
think so?
They don't.
You.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you don't wash your jeans, do you wear underwear? You have to.
I don't know. It seems like a lot of people don't wear
butt plug
underwear with their jeans. That's why you keep hearing about guys zipping their junk up in the fly.
Ooh.
Yeah. Like, have fun with that.
Then you get butt funk in your year-old jeans. That's
But then you freeze it and get it out.
gross. So Mike was saying, because if you have ice in the freezer, some people have their ice, it collects the...
Any odor in the air.
All your food does. It kind of like mixes in. So if you have funky jeans in there, that's disgusting. So Mike was saying maybe put it in a big plastic bag and Ziploc it and stick it in there.
So now I got a question for that CEO. Okay, if you wash your jeans once a year, if at all, does he wash his underwear? Does he change his underwear?
I'm sure if he wears underwear.
Yeah, if he wears, yeah.
That should have been the next question. Do you wear underwear?
And he's been paid billions of dollars. Urban Outfitters accused of ripping off artists.
Yes. So a while ago, I heard that on Etsy, some girl was making these necklaces that were in little metal necklaces that were in the shape of like a state, like you're from, and then in the center of the state it would have a heart, like a little heart punched out in it. And she was selling those in her little Etsy account. Well, then Urban Outfitters stole that idea and just started mass producing it and selling it. And that's pretty messed up, to take someone else's idea. And they were doing that with several things and taking other people's ideas. So she kind of posted, like, it's going to be hard. She doesn't make that much money off of them. It's going to be hard for her to hire a lawyer and sue and stuff.
So Urban Outfitters, is that
like a clothing company?
Is it like a women's only, or is it like both mixed genders?
It might be mixed. I imagine. Do you know PacSun?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of reminds me of something like that. Like if you store that kind of age, like not the same kind of clothing, but kind of like the same.
A little surfer, grungy surfer.
No, it's not surfer, but I'm saying it's just a different style, more like
grungy,
preppy.
Oh,
more like preppy, but same age group. Like it's kind of like what 20s, teens.
5.
You know what I mean? Like that same kind of where they make necklaces, they make pants, they make perfume. It's that type of thing. But they have their own store. It's not like they sell their stuff too.
I remember seeing it in the mall. I just don't remember.
Yeah, it's not. That's what I mean. It's like a standalone kind of store that they don't really sell to other people or whatever. But anyways, gosh, where was this other artist from? I can't remember. But this designer, he was selling his, I guess, art, and he had like it's a kind of preppy kind of. They sell all sorts of stuff, probably makeup and stuff too. But anyways, there was a skirt, and it had like Urban Outfitters made a skirt with his print on it. They stole his design and printed it on a skirt.
Did he have...
It was,
So he had to have the design online somewhere?
Yeah, he did. All these people have their stuff online. So he actually brought it up, and I think he didn't sue, but I think he put it on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken. Some kind of social media thing, and it just kind of blew up. And so then it got Urban Outfitters, a lot of fire under them, and they took them off. They're like, oh, we apologize. We would never do such a thing.
Don't take them off. Just give me a check.
We would never do such a thing. And they've been doing that. And Urban Outfitters actually is losing money right now. They're not doing very well anyways.
They're probably losing to begin with.
But
that's probably why they resorted to doing that.
Yeah, they've been stealing all these other people's stuff. I think that's just pretty messed up. Not right. Like, especially from people from Etsy and stuff that are just doing it at home, making...
But the thing is, they're not the only big name brand doing that. There's other companies doing that all the time.
I've personally just heard of Urban Outfitters doing it a lot.
I've heard of that happening a lot to artists on Etsy.
Oh man, it sucks.
Etsy and eBay and stuff.
Yeah.
Oi! Health news. This chair is not comfortable. Big booty is healthy. Research shows.
So having a big booty is healthy, they say. So I guess it's having a big butt versus having like a belly is what they're saying. Because just how you burn it, or when you're stressing, you don't, I think you burn, God, I can't remember, it's like, it's better for your heart too on how it burns and everything like that. And they said usually if you stress eat, especially, that gains in your stomach. So people that have a bigger booty versus like thighs, booty versus stomach are healthier and in better shape because, I mean, you can't choose where you store your fat, but
well, that's the
they're
problem.
saying having booty fat is actually healthier for you, just how it burns and everything.
And normal, because that's what been the complaint over since I think it was like since mid-90s. Everyone had that idea of everyone had to be like the little skinny Abercrombie and Fitch, and everyone had to go get their plastic surgery thanks to Baywatch.
So what are you saying?
I was saying a lot of people, normal looking people out there, are healthier than if they like slim all the way down to like that little skinny, unhealthy, bony.
Well, yeah, but it's saying even if you aren't skinny, they're saying having a bigger booty versus a bigger tummy is healthier. That's what they're saying.
Gotcha.
Because some people out there...
Some people think all the weight goes in.
Having how some people are apple shaped?
Yeah.
Versus a pear shape?
Yeah.
They're saying pear shape is healthier.
Gotcha.
Because like when you stress eat, like if you eat when you're stressed out, you'll store it in your stomach. And that kind of stuff is bad for your heart. And I think it burns faster, so all that fat isn't going into your
Not traveling up, just going down.
So
it's making its way out.
Booty and thighs burn slower. Anyways, it's supposed to be healthier. So all you big booty girls,
big booty. Oh,
healthier.
Put the H for that. Oh. The rap songs, the sexist songs from the 80s.
Wow.
What?
I said, wow, you went there.
Yeah, I had to.
Another study shows prettier faces are easier forgotten. So you think, oh, this girl's beautiful, I'm going to remember her face, versus a person that's ugly, right? But they're saying your brain actually memorizes those differences because usually when you're...
People like memorize those that are unique and different versus
so, you know how you were saying, like, I think we talked about this before, the more image your faces, the prettier you are. Well, that's plain for our brain, and it's just very basic. So somebody that has an obscure something, or even a mole somewhere, would be easier remembered than somebody that is totally mirrored.
Well, they also announced that women who wear perfume are seem to have prettier faces because the brain associates that good smell with pretty looks. Yeah, that's weird.
I could see that.
So if you wear perfume, you have prettier face, you're gonna be forgotten.
I told you this about cologne too.
Yeah.
Girls like cologne. It's fake smelling kind.
I think you missed that last part.
What?
You wear perfume, you look prettier, forgotten.
Oh wait, you're saying if you wear perfume that smells nice, then people...
They see you have a prettier face, and then you just say, pretty face are easier forgotten.
No.
So you wear perfume, you look pretty, but then you're forgotten.
But smells and tastes actually stored in a different part of your brain too, so you actually remember smells. So that's being unique.
And every time you smell that smell, you remember that person.
Right. So that's interesting, because I'll smell something like, oh my gosh, you just think of like my grandma, or a certain time of my life, or, where I used to work.
The time I ate Taco Bell.
Ew. You on the toilet? Oh, I remember this. No.
Right. Okay, that was Tuesday.
Another thing about prettier faces is people that have prettier faces are more easily trusted. Like people think they're smarter, they're nicer. You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're saying.
Versus somebody that's kind of like if someone has like...
Dang.
Can I tell that story but not say who?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we have a friend. not funny. This is pretty mean. But they felt really, really, really bad. But it's kind of like, it's just instinct. You naturally, like I said, there's a study that's saying that you trust a prettier face. So this guy had I think open sores and something.
And deformities
in his hand. So he went to serve a friend of ours drink and some food. And they couldn't eat it. They couldn't drink it or eat it, and they tried, and they said they just couldn't do it. It's pretty messed up, but they felt really, really, really bad about it. So, anyways, I just thought that kind of compared to the story a little bit. So, anyways, so since the study was saying that, they actually had, I don't know if this was by accident or what, but they started breeding these foxes. And they would breed only the nice ones together. But so they could be more, you can have them in your home, They wanted to keep them as pets, so tame them pretty much. So they just bred all the nice foxes and the nicer foxes. And what they noticed is that when they started doing this, maybe 20 years later, they actually had softer looking faces, cuter looking faces. And so they're saying, because that kind of also proves that maybe that's more of an instinct for us, that the nicer face you look is maybe just linked with those type of genes. We're just not that being prettier is because you're nicer, but
so in other words,
we find favorite in that because it's natural,
To make a more prettier child, you must resort to incest.
Why are you saying that?
You were talking about foxes being breed, and when they breed the foxes, they normally breed some of the brothers and sisters and stuff together.
Well, I don't know if they're
to form the genes together.
No. I don't know if they caught a bunch of foxes and then they just had the nicer foxes breed together. I'm sure they always do that with animals, but that's what they're just saying.
That's what I never liked.
So they're saying not necessarily. They're thinking maybe more instinctively we like these certain features. Not that they're prettier, but we have those favoritism towards those features because they're linked to those nicer genes. I mean, you know what I mean? Or they're being nicer. And so, in the wild, it doesn't really help us now, but maybe in the past, it would have helped us instinctively. Can I trust this person? Can I go hunting with this person? Is he going to kill me and eat me?
I'm kind of
Because you do, right?
I don't trust pretty people.
Some crazy eyes.
No, pretty people. Then they're up. I automatically think they're used to getting what they want, and they're gonna somehow try screwing you over. They think they're better than you.
Maybe it's a different type of trust. You don't think they're gonna steal from you, but maybe in a workplace.
I think they'll steal.
Wow, you've been treated badly.
I
said you've been treated badly.
No, there's not enough evil people in the world that certain type of people are used to getting away with certain things, and so they do. Hookah tobacco.
So smoking a hookah is actually
Hookahs.
now I'm proving it's worse for you than smoking cigarettes, which is interesting. And they didn't really say exactly why.
I figured all tobacco would be bad for you, though.
Well, no, smoking cigarettes, I thought this is me, my mentality. Have you ever smoked from a hookah?
No. I have asthma. People with asthma should smoke anyways.
Well, smoking from a hookah always tastes a lot cleaner, and it tastes like it's filtered more, and maybe you just got cleaner smoke.
No, hookah's dirty. Because they with all the other people out there, and then you have a smoke. Okay. Hookah? Hooker?
Okay. I didn't get it.
You were saying smoking a hookah, and then
No.
Smoking
that
a
smoking,
hooker.
if you want to say smoking a hookah, that usually means taking one out with a gun, doesn't it?
No.
Smoking one?
It could be a male hooker. So you just smoked a male hooker. And...
Okay, now you're gross. You're taking this too far and too weird. Anyways,
add a little comedy shit.
So in my head, I always thought this was cleaner, but it's actually not. Because what they did is they had someone stop smoking tobacco for about a week or two, whatever, get it out of their system. And then they had them go to a hookah bar.
Hooker bar.
And pretty much list on how much they smoked, how many bowls they smoked, and in what time period, blah, blah, blah. And they tested their urine, and their urine samples have more of this nicotine and the more cancer stuff in it, which is crazy.
Well, I think what it is, I think it goes like...
But...
Because cigars are more dangerous to inhale than cigarettes are.
Well, yeah, because it's that strong or bigger, and there's no filter at all.
So I think it's danger-wise, I think it's going... Well, I think it goes to dipping tobacco, then cigars, then the hookahs, then cigarettes. But... The equal sign, secondhand smoke, is bad. Like, secondhand smoke is just horrible.
It's one of the worst, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, what I was also thinking, though, is because you know how they have them stop for a certain period of time? Well, I also heard before this study, and I wonder if this has any effect on it, but not smoking and smoking occasionally is worse for you than if you're a continuous smoker.
I can see that.
So I wonder if maybe that's also why, you know, their body's not used to...
Okay, your lungs like, I can't breathe, I can breathe again, I can't breathe again, I can't breathe again, I can't breathe again. Yeah.
And you have no time to get used to it and kind of build an immunity a little bit. So I wonder if that's when their guard is down, that's why they're like absorbing more of this cancer stuff at that time because they stopped for a little bit. So that was interesting.
Well, there are some people who like just cut off that filter and smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
There's some cigarettes that look like cigars, but they're teeny, like cigarette looking, but they have that brown, dark brown, and they're pretty strong. They're almost like smoking a cigar, but you inhale it. Because, you know, cigars you don't really inhale.
Aren't those the clothes?
I have no idea. I just remember some guy smoking it. Okay.
Alright. And it's time for the gender Q&A. I think we're both too far from this microphone. So I apologize if we're not loud enough.
I think it's echoing enough.
That's what I mean. Like, I think it's too far away where it's echoing, and then the echo. Like,
sorry. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Gender Q&A.
Go. Oh, this is the portion. You're going to go first, but this is the portion where we talk about, pretty much ask questions that maybe males have curiosity about females, and vice versa. Male will have a question, or a girl will have a question about guys, and we will answer on each other's behalf. So
I have 3, but I'm saving the other 2 for the next couple of weeks. Even though the other 2 are better than this one, just out of curiosity, I might have even asked it before. Why do women wear thongs?
So you don't see a panty line. Done.
But say you just had But say you just had like something like Mexican food that didn't agree with you.
Okay.
Isn't that like little dental floss for your butt cracks, and then that stuff cake on to a little string?
Cake on?
That little string? What? I know, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm sure it does if you have some issues, but we talked about this before, that like my sister worked at a nursing home and, you know, had a wipe.
We didn't talk about that on the air, that's why I brought that up.
Okay, so she had a wipe, you know, help people.
Fecal matter.
She had to help people when they use the restroom, you know, so she said whatever it was, like guys, you know, they obviously had the same diet because they're eating the same type of food, but when she would wipe a guy, she would have to use like wipey after wipey after wipey, and it's like oily or something, and it just keeps going, and with the women, it's pretty clean. So...
But then the question with that is...
Women are cleaner.
Well, I was going to say...
I think if a male had butt floss, it would be in worse condition. But of course, there's going to be poop on there.
But the women that she's wiping, do they have... Are they... They're old, so it's nasty. But with... Not everyone has butt hair. So it's like the women she's wiping, would they have butt hair?
Yeah.
And the men do.
Yes, they're not waxing. Most women do. They just wax it.
That's what I mean. I'm talking about the people she's wiping.
I don't know where you're from. They're not waxing butt hair when they're stuck in a bed, can't even wipe their own butt.
You know, someone comes in there with a razor blade and gets on the sheet.
If you're uncomfortable already and you're just like... It was actually at a hospice, so I was trying not to bring down the mood. But... You're not going to be waxing butt hair. I promise you that.
Well, maybe they're not. Maybe she thinks they're eating the same thing. Maybe they're not.
And maybe hair falls out, but I think that goes for both. male and female. I don't know how hair is down there, but
Or maybe the guys are sneaking a little extra something that's causing it. Yeah. Sorry. I was just trying to elaborate. But go ahead.
Okay. So, do men go to the bathroom and look at each other? To not because they're, and I'm not saying you, I'm saying men in general,
I have
just
a story
to size
with that.
them each other up. Just, you know what I mean?
No.
Do they look?
I don't think so.
You don't look to know.
I don't look.
But I'm saying, is it like a, what, because some people, this is kind of guy code. What I heard is that you kind of skip a stall at least.
Mm-hmm.
But some people do get right next to you.
I know.
So what is up with that?
I have a funny story. See, I was at my brother's graduation back in 2002, 2003. I'm sitting in the stall. Okay, there's this...
Sitting in the stall.
Sorry, I was standing at a stall.
Okay.
And then, you have several stalls. This old guy walks up.
Okay.
With a smile on his face, standing next to me. Kept looking down and looking forward, looking down and looking down and looking down and looking down. He's like...
Look at you, look at
yeah, I'm like, what the heck's going on right now? He's like, for a second there, I didn't think I was going to find it. I'm like, ah!
So that's the most uncomfortable bathroom experience you've had. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that was probably one of the most uncomfortable experience with another person. The most uncomfortable bathroom experience was that current fear of urinals when I was at school. I don't know why men have the biggest problem flushing a freaking toilet. You'll see cigarette butts and you'll see urine just sitting there and you'll see gnats flying around. So when you see that, your instincts just go up and flush it.
Okay.
Oh, apparently the water pressure was up too high. I flushed it.
Oh no! I think I've had something like that happen.
It got all over me.
Ew.
It was in the morning. I just skipped the rest of the day, went back home.
At work?
No, that was at Texas State.
Oh
that was nasty. And now ever since then, every time I go to any restroom, any urinal,
back.
yeah, I stand to the side, flush it, and step back. Now as for
that makes me want to vomit. I'm very sensitive.
But at the urinal, men don't look at. But I did notice people do that in the locker rooms and gyms.
Gyms. That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, that's what I meant.
That's disturbing. Cause I was changing and
and maybe it's because you have that genre of guys not genre, but people that go work out are going to work out to have a nicer body, not just necessarily be healthy.
You have some people just strip down right away and just walk around and hang out in the locker room naked.
And they look at each other?
I don't... I guess so. Because I was changing, these other guys were changing. They kept facing towards me. And I'm turning back. Wait, I'm not going to be raped from behind. Yeah.
Nice.
It does happen a lot in gym. There's all the older people. Younger people don't do that.
So I guess they're more comfortable. They don't care. Maybe younger people would, but as you get older, you care less about what others think.
Well, I'm saying it seems like the older people are staring hardcore.
But I don't think they're necessarily into that.
They're pedos or something.
No. Okay.
They look
We're
creepy.
done.
They look creepy.
Okay.
No, I'm serious. They look creepy. I would be afraid.
Well, yeah, I'm sure if someone's staring at you like that, they look creepy.
Yeah, it's
Okay. Okay.
Towel up right here.
They're sizing you up. That's what they're doing.
Knife.
Because they're working out, you're at a gym, they're saying, I'm bigger than you. You know how dogs, when they dominate, they hump?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's a natural dominance. It's got all that testosterone.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a lot of steroids or something.
Well, it's pheromones. You pump out pheromones when you're sweating.
So maybe there's a lot of that stuff in there.
Maybe. I don't know.
They're going to help you.
Try getting in and getting out
Dominate.
as fast as possible. You're drop the soap. Oh, that soap's gone.
I'm done. You take a shower there?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I always wait till I get home. I don't want to take showers there.
What?
I don't know, it's just dirty in there.
They fixed it up. Oh, at least that gym.
Mm-hmm.
They fixed it up and they.
You wear flip flops, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least, okay.
I did not want athlete's foot. But that is all for this week.
Thank you guys for listening.
We'll be back next week with a new show.
Thanks. Bye.
Ta-ta.